did.
It was wonderful. It was wonderful.
Wasn't it?
I was like a little kid. I was so giddy. I
You know,
had
it's the
tears in
way I
my
look
eyes.
at it.
Oh
I
my
was
God, it was
too.
so
I was just
exciting.
waiting for it. It was the first fucking thing I did this morning. I was waiting on it. Come on, baby. I want to see the
I,
rest of them pictures. I want to see
I
our
told my son,
universe. Our
I said, when I grow up, I want to be an astrophysicist. And he looked at me and he's like, Mom.
I can't. I want it to be Buck Rogers. Hey, you know,
It was wonderful. I loved
I
it.
did. I did. I enjoyed it. It lifted my heart. Just the concept, you know, as we were. It's that concept of space being eternal. It never ends. It is just there. And when you see a picture like that, it brings it more into perspective. But again,
When I
I don't think the human mind is able to actually comprehend something that never ends. Because the
like,
question is always,
on
what's after
every
that?
every point of light in
Right?
that picture was a galaxy.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
images were
That's
so clear
every
and so beautiful. Oh, Stevens quintet. Oh my
Oh,
God, that
yes.
was
every
amazing.
And the last
every
one
one of those.
of the
Amazing.
nebula,
Yes,
the cloud that is just forming stars and oh,
yes,
but you know what
yes.
really
Every one of those
amazed me?
galaxies has billions of stars.
You know what they really
Try
yes, every one of those,
start doing the math.
yes, those little dots of light represent billions of planets and stars and shit. But I loved it.
It is
with-
actually,
with-
it is actually true infinity. It is true infinity, isn't it?
Yes,
Yes,
it is hard to
yes.
comprehend that thought.
Because as far back as they thought that they could see, the 13.5 billion years,
13 and a
there
half
were still
billion.
little teeny tiny points of lights that were galaxies.
Out there
And it
further.
just keeps going. And it just keeps going and just keeps going.
What amazed me
And
is for those that did see it, is when they were showing a larger field, but then they zoomed in or talked about this one tiny red dot in that big photograph that covered just billions and billions, but this one little red dot, and they were talking about what was on that planet,
yes.
about the
And the
chemicals,
chemical makeup of it.
oxygen,
Yes.
nitrogen, neon, and other
Neon.
basic components of life were
And there
in
was a
that
lot
little
of
red
oxygen. They could tell that there was a
Yes.
lot of oxygen on that planet.
Yes.
Or in that dot.
Now,
There must
mind
be
you,
water there.
mind you, that place may not exist anymore because it was 13.5 billion years ago, which is before our solar
Exactly.
system even formed. So, like I said, just gazing into those pictures and having those. Cassie Hicks just said my dad worked at NASA Ames Research Center for nearly 10 years during Mercury, Gemini, and early Apollo projects. I was always fascinated by it. Guess what? I lived there. Ames NASA Research Center was 5 blocks from my house. All I had to do was walk through some woods to get to the little convenience store there, and on the other side of the convenience store was the Ames Research Center. And wait a minute. Ames Research.
Amazing.
Yes, Ames. Am I thinking of California? There was 2 places. Maybe I'm thinking of California because, and when I was stationed in California at Moffett Field, yes, it was the Ames Research Center there. The one in Slidell, Louisiana, was the a NASA computer complex, and it was surrounded by barbed wire, big, like 6-story brick building, big square thing. I believe that the Ames Research Center was indeed in Moffett Field, California, in San Jose. I just got me. See, that's what the fuck when you get old. You know the
Right.
shit. You know the shit.
But-
You just get it mixed
But
up.
you stretched them brain cells to pull that back out. I'm proud of you, okay?
I just
I'm
got
proud
the
of
two
you.
low. It was the two things that I remember growing up. Next to was the NASA Computer Center in Slidell, Louisiana, and we were not too far from the Michoud Test Center in Mississippi, and we lived out near the edge of a swamp. So when they tested a rocket
Right.
at Michoud, it shook our area. You knew they were doing something, boy. How did shit? Is that an earthquake or we tested a rocket? So yeah, it's those kind of things that have always been around, like even when I was young. That piques your interest into.
You're down
know
on the
that
outskirts of
photo-
Oakland,
that-
just up in the hills
that-
above it.
Right.
You know that photograph from that space thing, right?
All right.
That's only, when you think about it, that's only one direction. There's 360 degrees. So, that's infinity in one way, and if you move 1 degree around, it just keeps infinity.
You know
I mean, if
what?
they turn that thing around and look the other way, it's probably just as big. And then,
What
it's
they
just...
compared that to, Dave, was an amazing concept. Here's what they said: if you took a grain of sand and you held it between your fingers and put it arm's length away and looked at the sky, that's how much of the sky that they're looking at.
That they looked at, yeah.
It's just, again, I'm very passionate about my politics. I'm very passionate about my country. But my dreams of what, and none of us are going to get there, baby. None of us
What
are going to get there.
inspires you?
That-
Yes.
True, John. I can build that into an encouragement.
Huh.
Look at how far we've come.
Look at how far we've come. In the knowledge,
had our
of,
little- we had our
the
little
knowledge
space.
of our own being, of our
Yes.
own history, which
Oh,
is
Remember when the
nothing.
human
Once they
genome?
went to the-
Do you remember when the human genome project was going on?
Yes.
When they were first mapping the human gene,
And
and now
look
it
what
looked
that has
impossible.
done. Look what that has done in the medical field. Yes, this is going to open up so many questions, and again, most of us will not live to see any.
But that's okay.
That's okay.
It inspires
We're here for
dreams,
part
and
of
it
the journey.
inspires hope. Yes, and
When they
Excuse me.
started working on the
Just-
James Webb, they did not have all the technology that was going
That's
to
correct.
be required to pull this off. So they were working on this for 20 years and advanced so much technology along the way.
I hope
be
they put
able
out
to
a
still do that.
documentary series about how it came to be because they had so many ups and downs. I would watch the snot
Yeah,
out of
I'm
that
with-
series.
I'm with Gary
was
Spring.
just
I want my
fascinating
George
watching
Jetson car.
it was fascinating watching the time lapse of them putting it together and them working on it like little ants, and
Yeah.
how
It
enormous
is.
that this telescope actually is. Okay,
yeah.
but the most fascinating thing about it is what would take a couple of months to get an image of will take James Webb a week.
A week.
The
And we can,
data is
and
going
we are
to
going
start
to be
flowing
seeing these
in, and
pictures.
it's just going to be amazing.
And we
Yeah.
remember the
Compared-
launch.
Go ahead.
We
Dave.
remember the launch of Hubble, and how amazing and how that changed everything.
Yeah.
We even went up and had to
And it
repair
was
it a little
only-
bit.
It was only supposed to last
Yeah.
for 10 years. And that's
Oh,
what they
yeah.
say about
That-
the web.
that's
that
the
it's
one
only
thing
supposed to last for about 10 years.
And the only thing about Webb
Where
is
shall
we
we go
cannot
now?
go out to repair it.
Now.
Webb will
Oh,
be
no, not this
too
one.
far
Oh,
out
no, Webb, but
for
too
us
far
to
out.
be able to attempt a repair
Well,
with
not-
the technology.
Not entirely
we have
true,
now.
John.
Huh?
For the
if you
mere
applied-
fact, but guys, listen to this. For the mere fact that it took them 20 years to work on this, they had to launch the thing and unfold it on its journey 1,000,000 miles out just to see if the damn thing was gonna work out
Yeah,
there.
holding their,
And it did.
crossing their
And it
fingers the
did.
whole way.
Amazing.
Oh Lord. Yeah.
Amazing.
I'm
Our
with
drone
Gary.
technology
Yeah,
is
I
advanced
remember when
enough.
they put Sputnik up too. I do. That was
Oh,
big.
yeah.
What was
No, I was a little
disappointing
before my
is
time.
when we went to
And
the
Hubble
moon,
didn't work.
nothing happened
Hubble
after that.
didn't work at first. They had to go in and, Dominic did an extensive report on
On
the Hubble Space Telescope, and in learning about just giant space telescopes, and the original ideal came back in the 30s and the 40s. That's how long the ideal has been out there. Not just the last 20 years of them working on it. This
No.
has been going on for a long freaking time. Long time.
And-
Before they even had rockets to go out into space.
In that one picture where you see galaxies with an arc is helping to explain not Newton.
Einstein.
Einstein's theory of relativity
Sure.
and gravity and everything.
Sure.
Yeah,
The
it's amazing.
gravitational bending of light and things like that. Yeah, it's fascinating.
Yeah,
Dominic's brain was blown. I woke him up from sleeping this morning to come and watch these pictures, and I'm glad that I did because he got a chance to see it. So
you're
awesome.
right.
It was cool.
Timothy just wrote, and I have it on my coffee cup. There's 3 coffee cups I have up there. One's a donkey, one is my Grateful Dead, and the other one is my kids just brought me back one from from their trip to NASA in Florida, and it is about Apollo 13, and it said failure is not an option. And I look at that
And it's
every
that way
morning.
with our democracy right now.
That's
too.
exactly
Failure
where
is
I was
not an
going.
option.
I look at that now, knowing that what it meant to that at that time, that getting astronauts back on safely onto Earth, failure was not an option. They had to complete that mission. And I look at it now as the same thing, is that we have to complete this mission of ours, this mission of our democracy, this mission of our republic, the ones that our founding fathers started. When Ben Franklin said a republic, if you could hold on to it, if you can keep it. Well, that is the challenge to our generation now. That is to all Americans now. It's the challenge. Can we keep it? Because it is under attack currently. I wrote today in my little thing, it was terrorizing. It was frightening to see how far someone were willing to go, but it is terrorizing to know that threat is continuing. They're coming up with a better plan. And the only weapons that we have are our voice and our vote. That's the only ones that make a difference. It is only when the passion of the people rise up and say this will not stand, is when our government listens. I've seen it through history, so have you. It's when we speak as one. Because they're right. They were trying to motivate their constituents to overthrow our government. Well, we need to motivate our society to stand up and demand that our democracy hold, that truth will bear out, and that justice is more than just a word, and it applies to everybody equally under the law, because that's the story we sell, and it's a good story if we can keep it. So let's do that. Every one of us, every day, might run into that one opportunity to say the right thing to somebody else, to encourage them to pay attention, or to encourage them to engage in this democracy. Nobody can stay in the bunker, baby. Everybody's got to be on the line, or everybody's gone. That's the deal. You adapt and you overcome, baby. And that's what we have to do. Anyway, I guess we'll wrap it up for the evening. I want to thank again everybody who sent well wishes and lifted me up in prayer and held me in their heart. I cannot say thank you enough. You indeed lifted my heart, so I want to thank everybody for that. And all that other bullshit, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, who just popped out of here? Aussie Dave. Oh shit, where'd he go? He must have got zapped again. Anyway, David.
Yes, sir.
Okay, just throwing a line out there. Thank you,
Okay.
brother, for I got to make sure which one's going to answer. Thank you so much for coming in, brother. I appreciate it tremendously.
John, anytime. Also, communicate with us how we can help make this easier for you.
We're doing it right now.
Okay.
Just continue like nothing's going on, like we got work to do. It is. It's something I've got to take active responsibility for my own life and my own health. And quitting smoking was the first thing I'm going to do. I did. I don't even want to use the language. I'm just looking for snacks. That's what I'm gonna have to control.
Don't worry about gaining weight. You can
Yeah,
use
no,
some.
no, no.
Okay.
I could use a little bit right now, but yeah, I'm not gonna worry about that. But
Need some edibles is what you need.
yeah, yeah, that's what I told her. I was honest with the doctor.
Calm
I
you
go,
down and fill
I
you
don't
up.
like your. Yeah, it's
Well, don't eat that.
Yeah, I told the doctor straight up. I'm more of an herbalist when it comes to my relaxation and how I control that. It works for me. It always has. Cavendish is a wonderful little product there. Just not rolled up like a cigarette with filters. Gotta quit that part.
Hey,
but-
John.
Hey, David. Badass.
What?
What?
Even Willie had to switch over to edibles.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah, it's crossed my mind because I'm not. I'm sorry. One vice at a time. I'm not giving up my shit. It's the only thing keeps me mellow.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
that-
other forms may. Yeah, but I gotta wait. You know, it's
That's it.
Where I
That's a
live,
powerful thing.
yeah, it is. It is.
We're gonna get it legalized in Texas, John. We're gonna
Yeah.
get it legalized in Texas.
Sooner or later, you know, it's already up battling around in our house, but our house is controlled by Republicans who are, you know,
Well,
still
let's change
Republicans.
that. Let's start
Let's
Texas
change that.
lit.
As a matter of fact, Beto O'Rourke said, if he becomes governor, it's going on the docket, baby. Here in
Oh,
Texas,
there
it
you
will be,
go.
you know, and it needs to be. It needs to be all over
Go
this country.
Beto.
It's so ridiculous that it is still, you know, on the class 1 list, on the class A list. Are you shitting me? Come on.
Do you think the government of Texas realizes how much tax revenue it's losing by not legalizing?
I always remind people how
mean-
much money Texas gets on the drug war. We have a big border, baby. As long as that shit's illegal, this state is making money.
That, and I imagine your prisons are not underfunded.
Not underfunded and not underfilled. You know?
Nope. Gotta
No,
fill.
we just had a new one built right over here in Robstown. Hey, we didn't have enough prisons, baby. We building them all the time. Lock your ass up for that shit. And as I always say, if you want to bust me for what I have, do it. I'll be out of jail for you. Anyway. Unless they just make it. Anyway. Yeah, I ain't giving it up, so. Just on that. And I'm honest with those that are necessary to know that. My doctor knows. I'm not gonna hide my shit.
And beer is still therapeutic, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Beer
In
is-
moderation.
Yeah, beer on Friday is not going away. I'm sorry.
All right,
Look
beer
how
on
much
Black
I've cut down
Friday's
on that
still on.
habit. I used to drink anyway. I used to drink a lot of beer. It was like you get off work, you drink a beer. That was it. But yeah, I don't do that anymore. So I know I have the willpower to do things when I want. This was just enough to make me kick me in the head and go, well, you're done coming up with excuses why today ain't the day. So
Hey, and John,
I just need some lifesavers or something.
fish tacos and seafood enchiladas are delicious.
Are they?
Don't miss the red meat at
Leave-
all. You can make them so nice.
Right down the street, there's a new sign up there. Somebody hand painted a sign with an arrow on it that said seafood and hamburgers. And I got to drive down there to
Really?
figure out. Yeah. I mean, if it's within 5 miles, I'm tickled to death. Right now, if I want a breakfast taco, I'm driving round trip about 25 miles to go get a taco.
Make sure it's not a trap.
I do have to admit that when I do, they're worth it. They're worth it. The place I
Shut
go
up.
to, yeah. You know.
Don't want you to show up that spot and somebody's dug a pit for you.
Yeah, really. It's a trap. Anyway, badass. Again, thank you, brother. We're going to continue our conversations to discuss world events, life in general, and all that good shit.
Bad.
All right, brother. Thank you for coming in, and I love you.
Thanks, Jim.
All right. And Bernadette, baby,
Yes.
thank you for making my day this
You're
morning.
welcome.
I needed that. And
You're welcome.
I needed that outlook of something towards the future instead of having to dig through all this past 4 or 6 years shit.
It was a wonderful day to start the day.
It was a good
I
way
could look
to
at those
hope.
images all day long. It just
I'm
made
not
my day. It made today happy.
Yeah.
It made today happy.
Just 5 pictures, and I could look at them all day and just zoom right in.
Yep.
Every little speck in there, I'm wondering, what the fuck
It
is
was
in
nice.
there? It
So,
was.
Anytime.
All right,
Anytime.
Anyway, enjoyed it.
All right.
For the rest of our family, again, thank you so much for the kind words and the compassion that y'all have sent me. I appreciate it tremendously. And shit, talking about people. I wholeheartedly appreciate those that donate and those on our Patreon. Thank you so much for doing what you do. It indeed helps us stay on the air and pays the bills, baby. I appreciate it tremendously. And I can't say that enough. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And anyway, another reason every day to try to put a little smile on your face and lift your heart up. It's going to be good for you. I need to do more of it for my own heart. But you get that sometimes by trying to put a smile on somebody else's face. If you make somebody else's day just a little bit better, it makes your day a whole lot better. And I like to live like that. I like to think that someday, at some part of my day, I'm gonna make somebody laugh or giggle or say something stupid or something clever that lifts their heart because it makes me feel better. So I always try to encourage you to do that. But anyway, it's been a sobering few days, and I've come to one conclusion. We ain't done yet, baby. So hold on to your britches. We got more coming, and I'll try to stay on my regular schedule and keep this fire lit, baby. It's worth it. Anyway, thank you all for being here. Y'all say good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. And we will see you again here on Thursday evening for another Blue Dot family meeting. So like, share, and subscribe. Blue Dot in Texas. All that kind of stuff. I love you. Thanks for